What's up, traders? It's your girl Kaya Trades, and in previous videos I showed you guys me backtesting, and today's trade was a banger trade. I made $567 because of what I learned in my backtesting. So if you haven't checked out that video, make sure you watch that video before you watch this one. Let's go ahead and see how I was able to secure a bag in the markets following my rules today. All right, so today is Monday and it's a new week. So I posted in my chat, new week, new opportunity. Of course, we're going to go and look at the trade that I took. It is on my TradeZilla. So we're going to see the trade that I took on there because I journal every single time I take a trade. So this is my live account, so we're not going to worry about this one. I'm on a funded account, my Apex funded account. You guys know this. I'm also trading a Top Step account. So this is on my live account. I took the same exact trade on my Apex account, but here is the trade that we took. It was sells. Now, originally I was a bullish bias. As you guys can see, price was moving upwards, but we're going to get into how I was able to capitalize off of a sell in today's price action. So starting off first, we're going to put our KT system. I like to have this up so that my community can follow me and follow my thoughts on how and why I'm thinking the things that I am, so that they can learn the skills and learn the tools and learn the thought patterns of what it's like to come to the charts and trade consistently. So now we're going to put our daily note. If you guys know me, you know patience plus discipline equals freedom. And that is what we strive for every single day we come to the markets. Even though I did take a dub, if it was a loss today and I followed my rules, it would still be a dub day for me because discipline is a key factor in our success. All right, so starting off, I would always check the news. This entire week, we have no red folder news, so I'm not even going to waste our time doing that. And we're going to start off with market structure, okay? Price came here, made a low, made a lower high from the previous highs up there, came down, made a lower low, but you guys see it was a wick and it was rejection. I remembered this on Friday, as well as in my back testing, that price just swept this low on the 1 hour. It didn't quite break structure strong like this, but then of course we get a strong break of structure, a higher low than this low, a higher high than that high, and of course we get it again. Price broke structure and created what we'll see next. We'll see next if it wants to come back and then push higher, or if it wants to just continue to the downside. So now that I have that, I already wrote out those. Let's put those back up there so you guys can see where I'm marking out my lows. I have a 1 hour low way down here. Boom. And honestly, if you're counting this break of structure, you can count this most previous low, which is kind of, I believe, what I did. I may or may not have done this. I'm not sure. But I would either count this as the low and the rest as internal structure, or I would have counted, if we break structure, a different low. But for the sake of this trade, I'm going to leave it right here because this was the last previous low before price pushed a little higher. So we're going to mark out the break of structure. Price broke structure right here beautifully. Break it. So then this would be our new 1 hour high. Very important. Now I'm going to also mark out another zone that I didn't quite write out when I first came to the markets because I was understanding like, okay, price is moving higher. We're looking at current price, but you guys can see that we have a strong leg down. Although it's a little choppy, it's multiple candles. It's still an aggressive push down, creating a 1 hour supply zone. So I'm going to go ahead and type this in for you guys. 1 hour supply. So we can all be on the same stinking page. All right, so initially I wrote our 1 hour is bullish. Mind you, I didn't have that 1 hour supply zone up there just yet. Oh, not supply. Bullish. Because inevitably price was still breaking structure to the upside. So as we go forwards, we're going to see what market wants to do going lower. With my bullish idea, I saw that right before we pushed up and broke structure here, we have a low right here, opposite color candle. So I also wrote out a supply zone, a demand zone, excuse me, right here. And I don't want to confuse you guys, so I'm definitely going to type out when we use our supply zones and when we use our demand zones. So give me 1 second, we're going to type that out. This is a demand zone. On the side here, I'm going to mark out in a bullish market, we use demand zones. In a bearish market, we use supply zones. All right, and if anyone doesn't know, bullish means we are going up, bearish means we are going down. Simple as pie. I'm going to save this actually. Okay, so we can all be on the same page. So we're gonna drop on down to the 5-minute time frame. That is my entry time frame. I'm only gonna start taking trades on this time frame. And another thing that I learned in my back testing was instead of just immediately trying to take something out of the zone when it taps the first time, I want to wait to see structure take place while we're inside this zone. Inevitably, I want to see us come down to the zone, create a lower high, create a higher low. I want a low that's higher than this previous low. I want to see price break structure, but I won't just get in right here. I want to see confirmation that price is actually going to continue pushing higher. So I need another low to present, and then I need another break of structure to present. If I just wait for price, and only do one break of structure, and I try to hop on in at this level, I don't know if price will continue down and just fake me out right here. So I want to confirm that the trend is continuing by price coming to my zone, making a higher low, and making a second higher low, and breaking structure. Once we break structure that second time, this will be considered the structure that I'm looking for to then create my what zone when we're going up? Demand zone. Exactly, our demand zone. So I would be looking for a demand zone after the second break. If this does not take place, what do we notice on the higher time frame? We have a 1-hour supply. Okay, our bias could potentially change. But as for right now, I'm going to remove this so you guys can see clearly what I was looking at. I was looking at buys, right? So let's go ahead and get to where market opened. Market open, guys, we shot up and broke structure. Exactly what I'm looking for. Mind you, I have a 1-hour demand here, so I'm not necessarily looking for this zone, but I did write it out. But looking left, guys, what do we notice? Price has quite a bit of imbalancing. All of these wicks right here, all of these wicks can be considered liquidity. Price needs to rebalance those before moving higher if it wants to move higher. So I'm just going to wait and see if we can come back down to our 1-hour zone still. I left this up here for you guys to see, like, okay, even if it does have my zone, it's following my rules. That's wonderful. I want to see the break of candle to entry again. Come on, guys. I gotta change that. It's not entry, it's entry. I'm going to just save it. Okay. Boom. So once we get the break of structure, we've already gotten that. Beautiful. It's still following our rules. Break of structure. Yes, at 9:30. If this changes, we'll adapt and adjust it. All right, so we already see we have a zone. So everything's looking beautiful, peachy. We have a demand zone here. We want to see price hold this level. If it doesn't hold this level, I will immediately delete it. If price closes, if a candle closes below the zone, it's no longer valid. So let's see what happens. Okay, price is still shooting higher. I definitely don't want to take this zone. Why? Because we will have a 1-hour zone. If we go back to the 1 hour and we see this 1-hour high, I'm anticipating a pullback, right? So price is moving higher. Once we break structure, I'm anticipating price to come back down before pushing higher. So that's inevitably what I'm waiting for. And so let's go back to the 5-minute. So I'm just going to keep waiting. I want price to come lower and tag me in before price moves higher. Let's wait and see what happens. Okay, price is coming back down. Let's see if it'll come get us. And then again, guys, yes, we got a tap of the demand zone, but I learned from my back testing to go back to the 1 hour after it's interacted with this 1 hour level and see, is price holding it or sweeping it? Because if it's a sweep, price might want to change the direction. So then I go back to my 1 hour and look, price was like, I'm going up, psych, that's the wrong number. So then, of course, I look left and see, wow, guys, we have a 1 hour supply. We have a 1 hour supply zone right here in our faces that we did not see previously. So I'm going to write this down. It's a supply zone because market was moving down, right? 1 hour supply. So now my entire bias could potentially change. The trend is your friend until it breaks, but has it broken quite yet? I don't know. Let's see. All right, so we get the top of zone. Again, I would still take this zone if it comes back. Mind you, I don't love this zone because we have this 1 hour supply, somewhere 1 or 2's up there. We have a 1 hour supply, we have a 1 hour level, and we have liquidity resting below. So I really don't like the zone, but I'll leave it up there just so everybody can see why I don't like this zone. Let's see if it holds. And of course, straight to stop loss. If I entered aggressively and got in on this trade, as soon as it tapped, I would have been so upset with myself because it's not a part of my rules to get in aggressive. Now, it may be a part of your rules and you'll have to take that risk on this trade. I've learned a lot, again, from my back testing. Go watch that video. From my back testing that it doesn't work for me. Break of candle gives me more confirmation to get into the trade. So I'm deleting this, and I'm deleting this because price closed below. Boom. I'm not even thinking about it anymore. But now that I know that there's a 1 hour zone, we rejected it very, very strong. We swept liquidity. I am just keeping my eyes out. If this low gets broken, which it did actually, boom, right there. We see it get broken. It's a tiny break. And even though wicks still count, we have to consider the context. We have to consider the levels. So we have a low right here that just got broken. It took out all this liquidity. Beautiful. That doesn't mean there isn't liquidity still resting down here. But let's see what happens. Because right now, just like we did, we had a break and then a pullback, and then price could potentially drop. It's the same way for this way now. We hit a 1 hour zone. Price came down, broke structure there. We're waiting for the second break of structure for price to confirm, okay, no, I kind of want to go this direction. So we got one. Let's see if we can get another. Meaning I won't take this first setup here. I won't take this. This is not what I'm looking for. That's not actually high probability. So we're just going to write 5-minute supply. I'm not looking for this 5-minute supply because it's the first movement. I want confirmation that we will continue down before I start drawing my zones. So now let's see what price wants to do. Okay, it hasn't quite come tap my 1 hour yet. Let's see. All right, we get a tap, but even though we got a tap, what did we also get? We have a new low that was created and price broke it. Came below that low. So now I'm really interested in taking a sell. Usually I prefer if market gives me an engulfing candle, so a big juicy candle that closes below. So I don't see an example exactly on this, but you see how this is a tiny black candle and then a big bullish candle close far above it. It's like two to three times bigger than that. Typically I like those way better than I like a wick, but the wick is still counting for me. So we have that break of structure once, we have that break of structure again. Let's write out the structure. Okay, the low is created, high was created, low is broken, lower high, lower low. Okay, I want to see if we can create a lower low. That's what I want to see if I want to take this trade. So let's see if we get that. Otherwise, I'm just looking at this, which again, I did have this on my screen for those who trade live with me. If you want to trade live with me, go ahead and click that link in the description. I can help you refine your trading. You may know the basics, but maybe it's just still a few things here and there that you're looking to get better at. I take my traders to the next level. So join us in the Next Level Collective trading floor on Discord and learn to refine your trading. All right, so we're going to go here. It's again not a demand zone, but a supply zone. I like my 5 minutes orange. So now we're just waiting for the break of candle. So we're going to change here because this is no longer exactly what we're trading. We were bullish, but price swept 1 hour high and hit 1 hour supply. And now our 5 minute, after we've gotten 2 confirmations of break of structure to the downside, price is bullish. So we were bullish and then we moved to bearish on the 1 hour. Potentially, we're at least waiting for the pullback if it is just a regular pullback. But either way it goes, that's what I'm waiting for. We had the break of structure on this second move. So that break of structure happens at 10:10. In my back testing, I've seen a lot of the moves have been happening closer to 10:10, almost exactly. At 10:10 a.m., we got the break of structure. Did we get a tap? Yeah, but am I more confident in that tap? Not necessarily. So I'm waiting for price to, one, close engulfingly. If it doesn't give me that, but it gives me the break of candle entry, I'll still take the setup. I may lower my risk. I may not. It just depends on how I'm feeling with this setup. Okay, we did break structure, but I still wasn't loving this trade, especially because we just got wicks for the break of structure. So I'm trying to see if we can get a strong candle close out of that zone. We didn't, price shot up. So now I'm just like, okay, if it still takes place, I'll enter here for the 1 to 2. Let's see if price gave us that. Still not quite. It came very close to closing out of my zone. It never did. So now I'm waiting for price to break this low. Now I'm a little bit more confident because we haven't strongly broken the high right there. So let's see. We'll count this as our break of structure at 10:10. We'll count as a tap of zone. Yes, we got it. The time is a little interesting. We still waited patiently. And tap of zone. Yes. Do we get a break of candle now to enter? Now that I'm a little bit more confident in this zone playing out because we didn't break another high, let's see what happened. And sure as heck, we were tagged into the trade at what time here? At 10:35. So yes, at 10:35 a.m., we did in fact get tagged into the trade. And now I'm just chatting around my community, singing a little bit to the charts, and then playing a chess game. I think I got cooked on the first one, but then I cooked somebody else on the second one. So shout out to me. And now I'm going to follow my rules precisely. I'm going to wait for the 1 to 1 to get hit before I do anything on my charts. My 1 to 1 is right here. I wait for price to come to my 1 to 1 before I think about taking profits off. If I've earned the 1 to 1 and I made that first level, I'm definitely taking profits off because I've already earned it. Why do I want to keep giving my money back to the markets? I don't. So let's see if we can snag the 1 to 1. Okay, price is making its way. We had a little bit of drawdown, kind of spooking us out, but we're okay. We're disciplined traders. We breathe. We're patient. We do a lot of breathing in my community, not gonna lie. And we're just waiting now. Price is moving along. It still went back into drawdown, kind of gave us a heart attack, but it's all right. And of course, price smashed our 1 to 1. I definitely took profits here at 1 to 1. And then as usual, I moved my stop loss to break even. If I get a little bit closer to 1 to 2 on my own judgment, of course, I'll move my stop loss to break even. Let's see if I will do that. We know now that my stop loss is here. Okay, let's see. And that's where I took actual profits on my live account because I was trying to build that up out of drawdown. Shout out to me, I'm out of drawdown. So hopefully looking to take some payouts this week. Stay tuned for that. As we get a little bit closer to 1 to 2, I just go ahead and start moving my stop loss to the 1 to 1. I think I waited till the second candle came. I'm not 100% sure, but I definitely got stopped out at the 1 to 1. And then we secured the bag of $567 today. And now we're up on the Apex account, I think 2K or 2,300. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's around there. So that was that. And even though the price still didn't give me my 1 to 2, I was able to walk away on a dub day and in a dub trade. But guys, after this dub, I was done. I journaled this trade because I needed to review my trades, and I was done. I closed my computer, obviously making this video for you guys so you guys can see how I took it, but I take my dub and I run with my profits. I am no longer interested in giving my money back to the markets, okay? I've earned it. I'm done. Almost $600 today. That's good with me. Someday my account will be will be big enough for me to take way more, and that's great. But I'm going to be content with my dub because, again, trading is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Why do I need to hit $1 million today? It's not even going to happen. It's not sustainable. Small amounts of money compound over time. The Bible even says that. Okay, so listen to the Bible. If you ain't gonna listen to me, listen to the Bible. So take your dub, run with your profits. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, comment below what you learned. If you want to trade live with me, click the link in the description. It's a fun day, Monday through Friday. And follow me on Instagram at Kaya Trades. I post a lot over there about my personal life, so if you guys want to check that out, do so. I'll catch you guys in the next video.